What's going on, guys? Welcome to the review for Manchester United versus Leeds. 2-2, 1 point gained, you could potentially say, at Old Trafford, because we did go 2 down. A frustrating performance at times, didn't really set the tone from the start, and that kind of how it went on for quite a while. Sam's joining me, of course, as you can see visually. How did you feel about that, Sam? We've obviously both just come back from Old Trafford. Atmosphere was really great, but yeah, how did you feel about the performance in general?
First half was abysmal, awful,
Yeah.
very, very frustrating. Sat in the stands watching that. Did not enjoy any part of that. So many balls given away, passing was sloppy, just not much intent in the attack. I know we'll get onto individual player performances in a bit. One player in particular stood out for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And I think that goal in the first minute just sort of killed any sort of momentum we might have had or any sort of feeling. It just sort of shocked us, and we seemed to suffer the hangover of that throughout the first half for some reason. It just shook us completely, and everything went to pot, really.
Yeah. Very, very shaky, especially the first 10 minutes were so bad. Too many sideways passes, not breaking the lines, crab-like football, side to side, allowing Leeds to get back into position. They was pressing really well, organised, compact. I feel like quite a different team. Like I said, they just made it difficult when we got in good positions. And when we did it was very organised, made it hard to get into good positions. But when we did, we still was very wasteful. Garnacho, I thought was doing well at times to beat players, but he got out-muscled quite a lot. Like Luke Ayling had his number, and made it a long, difficult night for him. What do you think about his performance today?
Yeah, I think it was a very similar to vibe. Do you remember when Ronaldo came and we played against Everton and he just kicked him off the park to stop him?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what happened to Garnacho tonight. He just got, like you said, got muscled, got kicked, got fouled. By the way, that ref was shocking today. The amount of decisions that didn't go our way was insane.
Terrible.
It seems to be a trend at the minute with Man United. But yeah, he got kicked off the pitch and it made him less influential, and it seemed like they were trying to wind him up or something like that just to frustrate him. And it seemed to work at times because his final ball wasn't there, or he'd get muscled off, or he got kicked and the foul wouldn't be given. Like the amount of bookings Leeds should have had. There was a particular incident later on where Rashford got tugged back, and I thought he was the last man personally. I thought he should have been sent off, but only got away with a booking. So yeah, there was a lot of dodgy decisions, but we weren't good enough in the first half. Like we just weren't good enough to sort of even get an equaliser, and it just sort of got worse as soon as the second half started. So
yeah, a lot of injuries, a lot of time wasting, a lot of just really annoying things you don't want when you're watching it. Leeds continued. That was a theme throughout the full game. Just quickly on Garnacho, I think it's important to remember that the lad's only 18 years old, by the way. You can't be expecting the world from a player. They're going to have dips in forms. And we was very cautious in our assessment when we were discussing Garnacho. We've said it numerous times, look, the kid's still raw. He's going to have dips in form. He's going to, that's just what happens with young players. Obviously, previously to the World Cup, he started really hitting a run of form when he was goal scoring. Now he's had a little bit of a dip. Interested to see how he learns from that. Maybe put on a bit of mass, bit of strength, bit of timber, adapt his game slightly, and then push on, because there shouldn't be that much pressure on the kid, especially when we've got someone like Jadon Sancho who came back into the fold today. So.
Yeah, obviously he's been playing because of the lack of options that we have. So obviously Rashford's been doing double duty on that left-hand side and then being moved into the middle. And that's been Rashford's kind of position. And then as soon as Rashford gets moved over, you have then Garnacho. He's the second choice up until Sancho. While Sancho was away, he was the second choice, which is a lot of pressure, like you said, to put on a 18, 19-year-old shoulders. So he shouldn't be playing as much as he probably is. But again, that's down to squad depth and Ten Hag not being backed and being able to get the players he needs to sort of fill his squad out. But I thought he did well. His effort was there and his endeavour was there, and he tried. And Ten Hag, I think, left him on as long as he could to try and impact the game. Yeah. And it got to a point where he was just getting locked out of the game and just not able to affect it. And then obviously Sancho came on and made a big impact. Changed things around, made the game and stuff like that. So yeah.
I want to touch on, so very quickly, sorry, on the Garnacho point. That was evident when it in the first half. The fact that Rashford on the right hand side, he had nothing. He did absolutely nothing. As soon as you move him central or move him on the left hand side, he starts to do bits. And we're going to touch on the goal very shortly. But I want to speak about Sabitzer's performance. Obviously, his first start kind of threw straight in there, wasn't it? Because no Casemiro, no Christian Eriksen. Tempo was a little bit off at the start, got nicked off a few of the Leeds players a couple of times, but grew into it. And I don't want to be harsh, but what would be of your assessment today? I thought he was okay in bits, but then, like I said, sometimes got it nicked off him, lapses of concentration maybe.
Yeah, there were some little things where I was a bit frustrated, like you said, passing and getting the ball stolen away from him. But and then in other moments, he was really, really good. Like defensively, he seemed to like get some tackles in and sort of blocks and stuff like that. And then he had that shot that sort of bent round
on his weak foot as well.
Yeah, it was really nice. Like on another day, that might have gone in, might have got an equaliser there.
Yeah,
I don't think he was terrible, but again, first game. Oh no, it's his second game at Old Trafford. Yeah, but his first start. So there was a guy behind me just going, he's just not got it. It's like, mate, he's had 20 minutes of football against Crystal Palace, and this is his first start. Like, give the guy a break. Like, give the guy bloody time, for fuck's sake. Like, some
people are just too reactionary, aren't they? That's the thing. Like, they haven't got patience to wait.
No, but like, I give him time. I think there's enough quality on show there that I think he will eventually come good. And there's a reason Bayern Munich had him. There's a reason Bayern Munich bought him. This guy's not a slouch. He's not a poor player by any means. He's just, they had such a stacked midfield. He just didn't end up playing. That's the reason. Like, the guy's a good player. So I think we'll see more from him. I think we'll see better things from him. But yeah, there is promises there. There's little things there that to be hopeful of.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not going to be too harsh on him anyway, but it was definitely evident we missed Eriksen and Casemiro today. And we've got another couple of games without him, so hopefully they'll learn from this game, especially going into that game on Sunday. And then Leicester, of course, after that. So we're going into the first half, Sam. Goals needed immediately. We need a reaction coming out, and that's the opposite of what we got when the game out. Second half starts, we come out.
I was in the toilet, so I didn't even know.
Oh shit! Yeah, you was, weren't you? Yeah, I forgot about that. I was thinking, when Sam gets back now, he's going to be absolutely livid. Sloppy again, concede, own goal, not a bad one for Varane. It just kind of bounced off him. Nothing he could have done about it. Now we've got a mountain to climb. But it was nice to see the fans stay vocal, wasn't it? I thought it was very loud in that stadium. Probably one of the loudest I've heard for a while. And yeah, that gives the players a sense of kind of belief then, because it constantly just on the back. Come on, Rashford. Come on, Bruno. Come on. Stayed vocal about it. Ten Hag makes a double change, brings on Pellistri and Sancho, and that kind of changed it a lot, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, like I thought, like, we were right next to the TRA, which, if you don't know, is the singing section of Old Trafford, which is next to the Stretford end. And they were non-stop throughout that game, just non-stop singing, chanting, super loud. Everybody got behind. Every time there was a slight attack, everybody got well behind it. People off the feet, shouting, screaming. And it's fun. Yeah, the atmosphere in that second half was absolutely fantastic.
Booming.
I've not felt something like that. That's like the sort of when Fergie would play games and we'd go behind. That was that kind of vibe. Like it was something special. But
the thing is, we haven't gone behind for a while, have we? Like, I don't think at Old Trafford. So to have that back again, because we're not used to it in a minute. Ten Hag's been winning games. To be 2-0 down, I think the fans helped a lot with that, didn't they?
Especially against Leeds, an arch rival, a very bitter enemy. Yeah. It's a different sort of vibe, and they didn't help themselves either with the shithouse time wasting, the fouls that they were committing, the amount of times they went down injured. Honest to God, I lost count. Like, they must have made about 20 subs at some point. Like, it was just out of control. Walking off and then getting confused. Oh, am I the substitute? Okay,
just the usual shithouse tactics, innit?
Yeah, but it is what it is. The Sancho coming on changed the game for me. Absolutely
looked good, didn't it?
Looked really, really good. Looked sharp. His passing was crisp. He was getting in on that left-hand side. That link up with Luke Shaw was there. The 1-2s, the overlaps. The relationship he has with Marcus Rashford was there as well. That was there to see. Looked really bright. Looked really good. Got a goal. I thought Palestri the same. Thought Palestri looked really, really good. Was
Yeah, it was bright.
involved in the goal as well. I bet Shreyas is pissed yet again because he's probably asleep, and he's missed Palestri. He played really, really well. But yeah, was involved in a goal. I think it was him who played it to Dallo, who then crossed it in, didn't he, for Rashford?
Yeah.
What a fucking header! Like, again, Rashford. Like you never known for headers, but he's scored quite a few in the last couple of months, and he's gotten good at
Props
it.
to Benny McCarthy, innit?
Yeah, exactly. Really good goal. Palestri involved, Dallo involved. Again, his first game back, so it was nice to see him play well and get some minutes and look good doing it. So yeah, really, really good.
Yeah, and that was from Ten Hag tweaking it as well. He spotted something in the game. Again, makes a decision in game to affect it. Moves Rashford centrally, brings off Weghorst. He didn't have the best of nights, did he?
No.
Weghorst is
he
does well.
It wasn't his type of game, was it? Like, we were crying out for some width and some pace down those wings. And Rashford doesn't work on the right hand side, so he was getting boxed out. And then Garnacho was getting kicked to shit, so Weghorst just wasn't getting anything. Like, he wasn't getting no supply. And then as soon as Palestri and Sancho, who like to have a go at fullbacks, who like to run at him, and are a bit stronger as well than Garnacho is, and then you had that focus of Rashford centrally, it just changed it up. And from that point on, the Leeds defence looked on the back foot, whereas they looked quite comfortable in the first half. We didn't really trouble them that much, aside from a couple of shots from the outside.
There was a few things that I was picking up when I was watching it. I thought Weghorst dropping quite a lot, but then he hasn't got the mobility, similar to what Ronaldo was doing. He hasn't got the mobility and pace to get back in. And I know it's important for the team to be that nucleus, but you need him to get back into the box a lot quicker for chances. And another thing that was as well, which I kind of feel a little bit sorry for Weghorst, was Bruno Fernandes. Today, I like the work he puts in. I like the graft he puts in defensive work. But sometimes I just need him to be a bit of a number 10. Sometimes I want him to feed the strikers, because I didn't see that much today. I didn't see Bruno Fernandes feeding the Weghorst at any point. And like you said, the wingers weren't feeding him either. So it is a little bit of a tough task. It was a little bit of a graveyard for him today, I thought.
There was a lot of passing that should have happened that didn't happen as well. Like, Sancho was free a bunch of times on that left-hand side.
And Rashford in behind.
And they were shouting at Bruno, shouting at other players to feed them the pass, and then you end up in offside. Yeah. Palestri was free a couple of times, and it just wasn't getting out it to him quick enough. It was just really frustrating because the passing would come out from Varane and Lissandro. We were trying to push it forward, and they had no options. So they'd play it to the right-hand side, play it to the left-hand side, to a Bruno or to a Dallo, and then they wouldn't find that pass when you see the run from the Sancho off the thing. And it was so frustrating. It was really frustrating to watch. I think if that passing was better, more incisive and quicker, we've probably got in behind quite a lot and probably put this game to bed and scored the third. But
that's what it was. That was the tone for the whole game. It's playing through the lines. It was, whereas when we was in possession, it was side to side. You allow them to get back into that compact, kind of position, and then you just make it hard for yourselves. Then we weren't doing great 1v1, so I actually thought Leeds played really well. I thought, for them, considering how they've been playing, they haven't won 1 in 7. They haven't won since November, I think we said, didn't we?
Yep.
So for them to come to the ground, look, I don't like giving Leeds praise because obviously they're rivals, but they looked a lot better today. Their energy, pressing, compactness, they look much better and made it tough for United. I feel like United kind of took it for granted a little bit. They was probably coming into it like we was, looking at we're on a run of form, Leeds are in a shit run of form. We'll do these over. And they kind of pounced, and Leeds took advantage of that slightly. But I don't think we'll do the same thing going into Ellen Road.
They did what I said they should do: snatch and grab. Snatch and grab is literally what they did. They took their chances and they took them early, beginning of the first half, beginning of the second half, and the 2-0 up. And it's just then it looks like an insurmountable sort of fight back then for Man United, because you've been shocked twice early in both halves. And you've not recovered from it. We didn't find an equaliser in that first half. We didn't come out the second half all guns blazing to find that equaliser. We conceded early, and it's just you've then got a massive mountain to climb, and you make it, like you said, make it really difficult for yourself to win that game. And it never should have got to that point. But again, props to Leeds because they took the chances. They saw the opening and they took them. And that's what they did.
Definitely. Just to double check, can you hear me? Is audio clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just double checking that. And Mike's managed to come back on. So yeah, we get one back, Sam. Stretford end absolutely booming. Starts to create more and more, pinning them back slightly. More of what you expected from United. Like we touched on, Sancho's relationship with Shaw on that left-hand side really, really helped, which kind of made him able to navigate his way into the box and equalise with 20 minutes to go. What was your thoughts then when that Sancho goal went in? Obviously took it really, really well, but did you think we can go get the winner after that?
It felt like it. We felt like we're in the ascendancy. The atmosphere was absolutely, like you said, bouncing.
Yeah,
People were screaming, shouting. I was grabbing onto your coat. My girlfriend was grabbing onto me.
Yeah.
Like, just everything was. It seemed like we were pushing and pushing and pushing to get that winner, and it just didn't happen. Sadly, I thought it probably could have done.
Yeah.
There was that opportunity in the last bit of added time.
Just not to touch on that.
That
there was one with Varane, with a big chance towards the end where the keeper literally just tipped it over the bar, and you're like, oh, fucking hell, man.
And then there was a couple opportunities where it gets cut across the box and it ends up like falling back just to the edge of the box, and I know we're going to get onto him. We're going to get onto him, and it fell to him, and it was just, and it's the one person you don't want it to fall to, and it's just wasted chances.
Yeah, we'll touch on who we know we're going to touch on in the ratings, but yeah, it's just. It feels like it's probably got what we deserved in it for the sloppiness, the lack of aggression and on the front foot. It was probably the 2-2 was probably a fair result, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, like it does feel like 2-point shot because like I said, we felt like we're in the ascendancy and we could have won that game had we pushed a little harder and took those last couple of chances right at the very end. But if we would have lost that game, I wouldn't have been like, oh, we should have won that game because we just weren't good enough. Just went first half, especially, just were not good enough at all. And Leeds rightfully took their opportunities. And yeah, we're kind of lucky to get away with a draw, really. I thought we did deserve the draw because we did fight back hard in the second half and worked for it. But yeah, you can't really complain with a draw, really, after the first half performance.
What do you think we can improve on now for the next game? Because you've got kind of not a blueprint, but you've got something to go off now, aren't you, going into it on Sunday? What would you tweak? What would you change? Yeah, what do we need to do now in order to get the victory at Ellen Road, which is going to be a tough, hostile atmosphere as well?
Yeah, I think we need to improve, like we said, those quick passing. So when Bruno gets the ball or somebody in midfield gets the ball, you got to make that pass quick behind the lines to a Sancho, to a Rashford. If we can do that consistently, we'll score goals. Like, they will score goals because they look really sharp tonight. We just didn't do it enough. It wasn't quick enough. We'd get the ball, sort of just delay for a second, hesitate, think, and then by that time they're offside and it's too late. And you've missed the pass. Or we'd pass it sideways or we'd pass it. Do you know what I mean? It was too pedestrian. So I think we need to be quicker with the passing and more decisive. And I would play a Sancho with a Palestri with a Rashford up top, because we look so much better with that front line. I just think it's not without Weghorst's game. If Rashford starts tiring towards the end, maybe that's when you can chuck a Weghorst on and use him. But
it feels like we can't drop him at the minute, can we, with Rashford? No. Like, he's the go-to man. Like, he's playing numerous positions. He's the talisman. And if you take him out of that team, similar to like Casemiro, he'll be missed massively, won't he?
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. The one thing I do want to point out, the massive hole in that midfield of Casemiro was so obvious. Unbelievable. We were getting overrun in that midfield consistently. Yeah. Like, just constantly just bullied and pushed, and there was just no, like, that Casemiro shield just wasn't there for our defenders. And I've never seen Varane work so hard in my life. He was working his arse off. And he was even coming into midfield and playing like a DM at times. He was trying to get those diagonals and trying to...
That's what it was, wasn't it? The progression through the lines, that's what we were struggling with. And I think they just weren't used to Sabitzer. That's all it was. He's obviously a very different type of midfielder to Casemiro. But Casemiro is one of the best in the world. It's hard to replicate what he does on a pitch. But yeah, like we said, we've got the next two games now where we're going to have to use Fred and Sabitzer. So let's see what happens. Let's do ratings then. We'll start off with the goalkeeper. I mean, again, it was another one of them where obviously the own goal couldn't have done nothing about. The first goal, I'm trying to think, it was a great strike, in fairness. The guy cuts in, I can't remember the name of the guy, it's Dota or something like that. I think cuts in on the left-hand side. Yeah, and then just bags it in the left, can't really get to it. And then the other one was an own goal. So Is there anything you was worried about in his performance, David De Gea? That's all.
Well, there was a point. I think I said it to you when you were next to me, where he tried to play it quickly out to the back for a counter attack, and his distribution just let him down. And you were like, "Oh, don't mind it." I was like, "Yeah, but you can't make that pass. He's not capable of doing it." And it does my head in.
I'm a risk taker, man.
It really does my head in when he does it. It's frustrating. But yeah, I think his defense let him down on the first goal. Just let a guy straight through us. He just cut through us. The fullback, is Dallow's side, wasn't it? Just let him through far too easy, and he gets the shot away. Can he do better? De Gea, I don't know. I doubt it. It's very harsh to blame him, and like you said, own goal is what it is. You can't really sort of do anything about that. So C, because he's conceded 2. But he hasn't done anything majorly wrong, so I'd give him a C.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Diego Dallo's first game back. Not the Diego Dallo obviously previously before the injury, but first game back, you kind of expect that. Thought he did well. Obviously got an assist for Rashford's. Wow, for Rashford's goal. Was good getting forward. Didn't see anything gleaming, any kind of gleaming errors from him. So another steady performance, I'd say, from Diego Dallo. Give him a C+ because of the assist.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. He wasn't his scintillating best. I was quite surprised that I saw him in the starting lineup. I didn't think he would start.
Called it.
Yeah, Wan-Bissaka, but did all right. Does he play the next Leeds game? It'll be interesting to see if he gets 2 games.
Well, he did bring on Wan-Bissaka, did he? He brought on the last year at right back.
Weird decision.
Is a bit weird.
So yeah, it was. He was C+. I think is an agreement. Brandon's asking, what was your reaction to the first goal? Shock. Because literally,
shock. I didn't even see it.
Yeah, literally,
I didn't see it.
Everybody's
too busy like looking at this.
Everybody's sitting down, and then there was a goal, and they're celebrating in front of us, and we're just like, "What the fuck just happened?" They didn't even didn't even recognize it because it happened so quickly. It was just complete shock.
Yeah. That's definitely one way to put it. Rash like on in the Sam had a lot of work to do today. We always say about Varane, you never really notice the game. He just kind of goes about his work, glides across the pitch. But he was involved in everything today, wasn't he?
Worked hard, man. Passing, got involved, almost like a DM conductor type role for me. Like he was running into midfield and trying to make those
little tricks and that as well.
Yeah, trying to make those passes happen. I thought he played well. Thought he played really well. Obviously, the own goal's a bit unfortunate. But it can happen. I thought him and Lissandro were solid as usual. Not like their highest standard, but I thought they had to work so much harder without Casemiro than they ever have to do when he's in the team. So it's a nice reflection to show that they are capable of putting in that type of performance when Casemiro's not there. So I'd give them both a B-. I think we do a B-.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy with that. I'm never really overly concerned with them too because I absolutely trust in everything that they do. And like you said, the goals with the midfield they had in front of him, it's hard to deal with what you've got in front. But most of them, Lissandro put in some fucking fantastic tackles. That one there, he just absolutely nearly broke someone's ankle, but won the ball at the same time. Yeah, that's what
he
you
did
get
that
from
a couple of times.
They complement each other.
There was a couple of times he did that. He crunched the Leeds player, but won the ball fairly. And obviously they stayed down for 20 minutes, fucking milking it. But he was again. I've not seen Lissandro have a bad game for a long time. I remember when he first came back, he was a bit shaky, wasn't he? A little bit shaky. But since then, been absolute class. Yeah, fantastic.
Just needed to wait for the pints to wear off. That's all it was with
hangover.
And now he's back. Luke Shaw at left back. I thought he was good again today. Especially when Sancho came on the pitch, opened up a little bit more. Garnacho was having a tough night, so it's kind of everything that's in front of him. But again, Luke Shaw he's another one who's Mr. Consistent in a minute, I think. I wasn't unhappy with anything Shaw did today, so I'd give him a C+. Like Dallo, I thought he was decent.
I'd give him a B-. I thought he was really, especially when Sancho came on, I thought he came alive. He seemed to have a bit more freedom to express himself, and he was overlapping. There was 1-2s. He was cutting inside, and he'd do the 1-2 with Sancho to do the overlap and stuff. I thought he was really good once Sancho came on, and he really impressed me. again involved in the both of the goals, like in the build up and stuff like that. I thought he was really impressive. He just doesn't have that relationship with Garnacho, and I think he's a bit wary because obviously Garnacho is still inconsistent, losing the ball, etc. So I think he was a bit wary about going forward and leaving him that back line exposed, so he didn't sort of venture forward as much. So yeah, I'd give him a B minus, me personally, but
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
No, yeah, maybe I've been slightly too harsh there in my assessment. Yeah, so a full C plus, B minus, B minus, B minus for the back line. So I thought out of the midfielders that were on display, he's probably the most assertive, aggressive, controlled in his possession. A few lapses in concentration at times, but considering it's his first start for the club and you're thrown right in the deep end as a number 6, I don't know. I don't think we can be too harsh. No, I don't know what to give him though. I think it's maybe a C, just for like kind of average, steady. Maybe a C plus. I can push it to. I'd say. Yeah, I'll go with a C plus. I don't know what you want to give it.
I think it's a hard role to fill, especially when the previous shoes are Casemiro. Like the level he sets is massive. So anything less than that was going to show up and look worse in comparison, even though he wasn't that bad by like any stretch of the imagination. Again, first time playing that role where he's like the number 6, like you said. A couple of moments where I really liked it, the blocks and getting involved. There was a shot that was very close to going in. The keeper had to make a save. Yeah, I'd go with a C plus. I think there's more to come from him. And I think he will be better games going forward. But I liked moments of what I saw. Like you said, a couple of sloppy moments, but I think he'll iron that out as he plays and gets used to it. So I'm not worried.
I think one thing I'm absolutely positive about is if Casemiro and Eriksen plays that game, we win that.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind, we would have won that game.
If Casemiro plays that game, we win it.
Yeah. But it is what it is. We have to deal with what we've got at the minute. And quite lucky we actually got Sabitzer in, because we wouldn't have got him in. I mean, Fred at the 6, the way he played today, Sam, he was absolutely, I said it in the stadium, dog water, shit, in the, like, terrible. And this is what, we actually discussed this to the last game, because he had a really good game. And obviously, a lot of players tend to have good games when you sat next to, one of the best defensive midfielders on the planet. Makes it life slightly easier. But today, he's passing on the ball, he's dribbling, shooting, everything. It wasn't one aspect of his game that was good. It was one situation, I think it was in the second half, where he gets it in a good position inside the 18-yard box and just scuffs it, and it's like he just passed it to the keeper.
He fell over, didn't he?
Frustrating.
He fell over a lot. Like he fell over a lot during this game. He had no footing. Like you said, his passing was all over the place. His tackling, he was running about like a blue-ass fly, not sure what to do. Which just shows you the contrast to Casemiro, who swans about the place because he knows exactly where to be. He doesn't have to run, don't have to rush, don't have to run about and like charge around like a bull in a china shop. And that's exactly what Fred does. He just runs about because he's never in the right position. He's always like going, oh God, putting fires out rather than preventing the fire in the first place, which is what Casemiro does. Just awful. Like everything he did, like he's shooting. Like I said, I mentioned previously, that ball comes out to the edge of the box, and you want somebody on the end of it. And who is it? It's Fred. And he had like 2 or 3 of those and just completely fucked the shots. Like absolutely awful. Just for me, he was terrible.
I was going to say, I think it's very fitting for Fred because his name starts with an F. I'd give him an F. I thought he was awful. Absolutely. That's one of the worst performances I've seen for him. And that's going back to Brighton as well. Do you remember him in that Brighton game?
Like you were saying, I think we said in the preview or
in the
maybe a game before, and you were like, yeah, but he's been decent, he's consistent. This is the problem with Fred. This is literally what happens. He'll do 2-3 games, look really good, and then he'll drop this. He'll do this
drop
game.
An absolute shitter in water.
It's so frustrating because there's talent there and there's a good player, but his consistency is all over the place. It's all over the place.
Yeah, so bad rating for Fred. Bruno Fernandes, again, not great. I liked his tenacious, his work rate, everything you get from Bruno, but I thought his performance was a C- today.
His passing
was slightly below par.
His passing just wasn't.
No.
I thought
do you agree with that?
Yeah, I thought he could have done so much better. Like I said earlier, if he would have is less hesitation, quicker on the ball, passing, getting that as soon as Sancho and Rashford are making those runs, making those incisive passes. Like you said, his work rate's always great. He's always fighting for the team. There's good tackles from him, tracking back, etc. That's always there with Bruno. You'll always get that, which I like a lot. But yeah, he's going forward. He just wasn't great today. So yeah, I'd go C-, I think.
Yeah, agreed. We move on to the front three, where I think only one's going to get a slightly decent rating. We'll start with Marcus Rashford, the goal scorer, a great header. Does what Rashford does, isn't involved heavily in the games at the minute. He's just, he gets a goal every single game. This is what we're talking about. And to have that consistency, I believe, deserves a decent rating to get us back into it. Showed that mentality. Showed that he was pissed off at the end of the game as well, walking down the tunnel like the first one. He was clearly fuming with it, and he's setting the standards now for the rest of the team. So I'd give Rashford a B today. I'm happy because he's keeping us afloat, and people might look at his overall performance and think it's not a B, what you're on about, but I'm just, without him right now at the minute, we'd be really struggling. He's helping us out in a lot of fucking games. So
I'll agree with you. I think he was ineffectual on that right hand side, just could not impact the game whatsoever, and he cut a frustrated figure while he was out there. It didn't look like he was enjoying it at all. As soon as he moved to the middle, he looked a lot more effective. Started having that interplay with Sancho, Pellistri, even Bruno got involved, Luke Shaw, etc. He started to look a little bit alive, and then got up early with his header, got the goal, and again, another game, another Rashford goal, and this is what he's doing at the minute. Like you said, even if he doesn't play particularly well, he's scoring goals, and that's important, and that's what United need.
We need players we can rely on. That's the thing. Weghorst, Sam, we touched on him already slightly. Lacked service in quite a lot of the areas. Did well, to drop deep, link up play like he does. Not great in the air though for his height, is he?
No.
That's the other thing I noticed. He's not fantastic. Doesn't win a lot of headers. So the long ball opportunity that sometimes you might need when we can't break the lines, which is what we were discussing. You can't go long and feed it to him because he's not great. So I don't know with Weghorst. It's a strange one. Martial, let's be honest, he's not going to be fit, is he, for the rest of the season? He's going to be in and out. You can't rely on him. So Weghorst is the one that we're going to have to use at the minute. And I just don't know. I thought just normal C-, maybe. I'll let you call this one because I don't really know, to be honest.
I think I'd be a bit harsh. I'd go with like a D+. Like I just thought he wasn't there. Like you said, there's the thing where he drops deep, which you appreciate, bring other players into the play and drag defenders away. But then, like you said, he hasn't got the mobility or the speed to get back into the box to be a danger. And then you sort of just left with this hole in the middle. Like you said, like Ronaldo used to do all the time. He dropped deep and then you just got nobody in the box to aim at or to get on the end of something if something spills. And yeah, I just didn't think it was his type of game today. Just didn't look great at all. I think he's worth sticking with, and I think he will be effective for us this season. But today just wasn't the game for him, I think.
Yeah. Sorry, Val. It's not a great rating for yourself. We'll touch on one Argentinian in very, very shortly. I've just seen a quote on Jonathan Schrager. It says, Martinez is like a nightclub bouncer at Old Trafford with his own dress code rule. If you're wearing a shirt that isn't red, he simply isn't going to let you come into United's 18-yard box.
Pretty much.
That was summed them up very well. I love that.
I like it.
Yeah. The bouncer of Old Trafford. Garnacho, I'm going to give him a D. I just think he was... 1v1 wasn't great. Got out-muscled in quite a lot of the opportunities. I loved that he was going forward. I loved that he was, constantly trying to be positive.
The effort was there.
Just wasn't his night tonight, and that's, he's 18 years old. It's going to happen. But if I had to just judge him off, raw assessment of the game, I'd have to put him in a similar category to your Weghorsts, to your Brunos. I think he was either a C- or a D. I'd say.
I'd go with a C-. Like I think D would be a bit harsh because he was trying. The effort was there and he kept going, even though he's getting kicked to shit and getting shoved and all that sort of stuff. He was trying to do things. He was trying to make things happen, but it just wasn't his night. And then once Sancho came in, you realised how much more effective Sancho was, and just it changed the game for us. But yeah, it just wasn't his night. But like you said, 18 years old, there'll be better games for him. He'll come good. Like you said, he'll get better, improve. like put on physical stature, so he'd be able to deal with this in the future. But yeah, it just wasn't his night, sadly. But my boy will come good again. He'll all be fine. Don't worry.
Yeah. Who are we giving man of the match to then, Sam?
Has to be Lissandro or Varane, doesn't it? One of them.
Sandro Varane. Yeah. Or who did I? Yeah. I think that's probably right. Luke, I thought Shaw was good as well, but we'll go with. Yeah, we'll go with Lissandro. I think. Are we happy with that? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go with that.
Yeah. Cool. Let us know in the comment section, guys, who you thought was man of the match. Your frustrations with the game was bad. And as always, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop us a follow on socials. It's nearly 12 o'clock tonight, so unless you've got anything else to say, Sam, I'm sure we can head off and move back tomorrow.
We did a little thing outside the ground, a couple of little minute thing for immediate reaction, which is on the Instagram and the TikTok. Is it on the TikTok?
Yeah, it's on TikTok, yeah.
So go check that out if you've got a chance. It gets our raw feelings, our raw immediate reaction after the game. And yeah, if you're watching this tomorrow or you're watching this like later on this evening or whatever time it is where you are, drop us a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate all the support that we've had over the last couple of weeks, and we will, we'll see you all tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely spot on there. See you later, guys. Take care of yourselves. Big up the subs as well who came on. Sancho, Palestra, you guys came on, changed the game, so thank you very much for that. Solid performance, and let's continue it on for Leeds on Sunday. See you later, guys. Take care.
It's that one.
Peace.
It's that one, innit? Mentality.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
See you later.
See you in a bit, guys.